This is a Veritex Community Bank Roadshow. Live from the 48th Rotary Lombardi Award, this is the Wheelhouse on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Here's Jake Asman, Cody Stutz, and Brad Kellner.
Our next guest is one of the great players in college football. He's being honored here tonight at the Rotary Lombardi Awards. The defensive end out of Michigan, Aidan Hutchinson, joins us right now here on the Wheelhouse. Aidan, appreciate the time, man. Congrats on such a great season that, let's be clear, still isn't over just yet.
That's right. Thanks for having me. It's we got a lot ahead of us, and playing in the playoffs, Michigan, first time, so I'm fired up, and the whole team is.
Now, we just learned, talking to you before the segment started, that you actually have family that's from Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, take us through the backstory of your Houston heritage, so to speak.
Right. So, my dad grew up in Houston, and he ended up playing college football at Michigan, so, that brings me to Michigan, and my mom and, my sisters went to Michigan, so, the whole family went there, and, my dad's brother stayed in Houston, and so I visit them probably annually, and, they've been coming up a bunch for games, so it's been great.
Well, hold on. Your dad played for Michigan? I don't think they ever mention that on television. I don't think they ever say anything about that.
It's never come up.
That's irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you finally able to talk some smack to your pops now that you broke his record?
Yes, I can. It was something that was hanging over my head for a little bit. I got a little late season surge in stats with the sacks and stuff like that, and I finally beat him. And it was great. It's something I can finally hold over him now.
It's awesome. It is awesome. So talk about this, the Rotary Lombardi Award. This is a tremendous award that they give out to the top linemen in college football every year. Just being a finalist and being here today, what does that mean to you? Yeah,
it's so awesome being here. I think Lamar Woodley from Michigan won it back in, I forgot what year it was, but back in the day. And, it's such a prestigious award. So many big names. I was just looking at the trophy in there. And, the best players, the best linemen in football win this award. Yep. So, it's really awesome. It'd be really great to win tonight.
They don't always recognize what you guys do in the trenches. There's
That's
a
right.
lot of skill position awards and QB awards and stuff like that, so it's great to get an award for what you guys do. Take us through your season, man. You talked about the late season surge, but what were your feelings throughout the whole course of the season so far? And then, obviously we know the expectation here going forward, but take us through where you've gotten to this point.
Yeah, nobody expected us to be where we're at. Beat Ohio State, won the Big Ten championship, did things that nobody thought was possible. So that's really just a testament to our team and the work that we put in this offseason and kind of the culture shift we've had at Michigan. So. I want to keep this thing going. I want to beat Georgia, and I want to play in that national championship and win it, of course. So.
Was there a moment this past offseason where maybe you, as one of the leaders of the team, the coach, you guys kind of look around and you're like, we've got the guys, we've got the ability to make this season special? Was there a moment or a piece of work that you guys put in that you knew, like, okay, we've got something for this season?
I think one moment that I think of is one practice in fall camp. It was so we were having doing in a team period, and the defense just kept winning, and the next thing you know, it was this spontaneous, like, everyone starts screaming and hooting and hollering. It was the most absurd thing I've ever seen at practice. And then next thing you know, the next period, the offense starts winning, and then they're all going crazy. And, our strength coach has pictures all over our weight room of that practice saying, this is what a Michigan practice should look like. And I'll never forget that practice. That was probably the coolest, practice I've ever had, and it just goes to show how invested our guys are and how all in everybody is to our program.
Hey, now I'm going to ask you to be honest with me for a second. You guys started the year unranked. Y'all were the first unranked team to make it to the college football playoff. Before the year started, did you guys really think in that locker room that there was a chance you would be this good, the number 2 team in the country going into the Final Four?
Right, yeah. It's always hard to gauge how good you are in fall camp, when you're playing against each other. So really, going into every season, I never know how good we're going to be. You can really only hope, and you have your goals that you want to achieve.
Sure.
But, there's just something different about this team in terms of the energy. It's what I just talked about and what happened in that practice. But that was consistent throughout all of spring ball, throughout all of winter conditioning, fall camp, everything. So, I knew that necessarily didn't mean we're going to win a lot of ball games. That doesn't guarantee anything, but it just shows, I think, the investment of the guys, into our program.
Aidan Hutchinson is our guest, the Michigan defensive end, joining us here on the Wheelhouse, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. You mentioned it, beating Ohio State. That was obviously the gigantic monkey that needed to get off everyone's back up in Ann Arbor. Take us through the game, the week leading up to it, and that experience, because not only did you win, but you were a huge part of that win, and you had a historic performance in that game.
Right, yeah. Their offense was so elite. I think they came in number one scoring offense in the country. And, they had so many weapons all around the board. And I thought defensively we did a very good job. Held them to only about 27 points, which is good for, an offense like that. Yeah. And our offense really dominated that game, running the ball, doing a lot of our gap scheme, run plays, and really just playing Michigan football. And, we played very well, complimentary football. And, ended up getting the win. And it was historic, emotional, every emotion comes to mind after that game.
Did it mean more because everyone said you guys would never win that game? Jim Harbaugh can never beat Ohio State. Did it mean more because of all those aspects coming in?
Yeah, 100%. It was a culmination of everything. It was a culmination of the hate, the disses on Coach Harbaugh. Nobody believed we could do it except the guys in our building, and we were all just ready to shock the world.
It's. That's not the final goal either.
That's
so
right.
So
That's
you
right.
guys finish that game up. What's the conversation like? Hey, we still have work to do. We still have a big opportunity ahead of us. You guys got to go to the Big Ten championship.
Right.
What was that conversation like? Hey, we accomplished this giant thing that we've been trying to accomplish.
Right.
But we still have so much more in front of us.
Yeah. We had a player-led meeting on that Monday, just trying to refocus. But in all honesty, it was hard. It was hard because that whole season, everything leading up to that was for Ohio State. All the training that we did. What are you going to do to beat Ohio State today? All of that. So it's, it was really hard emotionally getting over that win and moving on. But no one on that team had a Big Ten championship ring. So, we were all hungry for it. We all wanted it as bad as anybody. So, and we got it. So.
I'm looking at Tyler Linderbaum right now, and hopefully we get the chance to talk to him soon. I'm worried if I ask you this question, he's not going to come over here. But come on, nice win over his squad last week. Have you been talking a little extra smack to Tyler?
I did. I've mentioned it a couple times. It's always good. But Tyler's a great player, so it's good. It's good, being around him today.
No doubt about that. All right, I have to ask you, man. You're in Houston right now. What do you think of this place? There are a lot of Texans fans who wouldn't mind hearing your name called on draft day. What do you think of the city so far, man? Could you find this place your home once you take your talents to the next level?
Yeah, I got off the airplane and it felt right. I can't lie to you. The air, the atmosphere, the vibes. Houston's a good place to be. And if they draft me, I'd love to play for the Texans.
Hey, I've got to follow up with this because I know you're from Michigan, and another team that's in the running for your services, if you will, is the Detroit Lions. Did you grow up a Lions fan? Was that a dream of yours growing up to play for the hometown team?
Growing up, it was a little bit hard being a Lions fan.
I believe it.
Lions have been struggling for a while.
It still is hard being a Lions fan, I'm sure.
Yeah. I actually grew up a Patriots fan just with Tom Brady and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I never really loved the Lions too much, but hey, if they pick me, they're getting it all. So
now, as far as Houston, though, do you like we'll go through the checklist. Do you like barbecue food?
I do.
All right.
I do.
Do you like Tex-Mex?
I've had it once or twice.
You just like Mexican food in general.
Don't worry.
Mexican food's not bad.
You'll love it.
I love it.
It sounds like
I like Chipotle.
Oh, that's my guy right
there it
here. Now, I'm a Jets fan, so I wouldn't mind you on the Jets after that comment as well. You're also fantastic at football. Just as we wrap up here, Aidan, for you, when you think back to just your career at Michigan, what do you want your legacy to be? Because you've accomplished a lot more than anyone has in a long time. You have your dad's record now. You can hold over him. What is it you want to be remembered for your time playing for Michigan?
Yeah. If you asked me that question a couple months ago, it was to beat Ohio State and win a Big Ten championship. And so I did that now, so let's go for more.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad I was a part of the team that ended the Ohio State streak, that ended the Michigan drought of the Big Ten championship. So hopefully I can put a little cherry on top and get a national championship.
All right, stop me if you've heard this before. The Houston Texans are picking. It's a big, long, dominant, white defensive end from the Big Ten.
That's right.
What do you think about the nickname Wolverine Watt?
That's interesting.
And
It's
full
not bad.
disclure, that's what he's been calling you on our show.
I've been,
Really?
I've been calling you that for like 2 months now.
Okay, it's not bad. I don't hate it.
Okay.
It could use some work though, maybe a couple tune-ups, but
Okay.
I'd have to think about that. But
All right,
no, it's
we'll
not
get in
bad.
the shop and then we can talk
That's
again in
right.
April.
That's right.
I want to end with this, Aidan, because I found this really interesting. I was looking at your player page on the Michigan website, and there were some quotes from your parents on there. And they were talking about how you're a vision board guy, how like every year, whether it's football or life, you kind of set goals for yourself. Can you kind of talk about that, where you got that idea, and how it's helped you become both the football player and the man that you are today?
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know what initially spurred me to do it. I think it was just my mom. My mom's really big into all that stuff, the spirituality and, manifesting and visualizing. So I think she was really all into that. She kind of instilled that in me. And, I'm forever grateful for her in doing that just because it really it grounds you as a person. And it really helps you to understand who you are and it centers you. So, I have her to thank for that.
He's Aidan Hutchinson, one of the honorees tonight for the Rotary Lombardi Award. It goes to the Best College Football Lineman of the Year as we broadcast our show downtown from the Hilton Americas here in Houston. Aidan, congratulations, man. I know your season's not done yet, but congrats on a phenomenal regular season. Enjoy the awards week that you were telling us you're going through right now, and good luck in the college football playoff. And hopefully, I think I speak on behalf of a lot of Texans fans listening, hopefully you're back here in a couple months for a long time playing for the Texans.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
He's Aidan Hutchinson. We'll take a quick break. More to come as we broadcast live from the Rotary Lombardi Awards in downtown Houston. Stay with us, the Wheelhouse, ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.